Welcome all to the first part of Administrative Tribunal Act 1985. This is for Administrative Law Dr. K. Sangeeta. In pursuance of the provisions of Article 323A, the Parliament passed the Administrative Tribunal Act 1985, providing for all the matters falling within the Clause 1 of Article 323A. According to this Act, there must be a Central Administrative Tribunal at the centre and a State Administrative Tribunal at the state level for every state. The tribunal is competent to declare the constitutionality of the relevant laws and the statute. The Act extends to insofar as it is relevant to the Central Administrative Tribunal or to the whole of India or relating to the Administrative Tribunal for states. Its application to the whole of India except for the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Objectives of establishment of an administrative tribunal. The main purpose of the introduction of this Act was to relieve congestion in courts or to lower the burden of cases that is pending before the courts, to provide a speedier trial of disputes relating to service matters. Applicability of the Act. According to Section 2 of the Administrative Tribunal Act 1985, the Act applies to all central government employees except the matters for naval, military, air force or other armed forces of the Union, any officer or servant of Supreme Court or High Court, any person appointed to the Secretariat staff or either House of the Parliament. Now we will see the composition of the tribunal and bench. Section 4 of the Act describes the composition of tribunal and bench. Each tribunal shall consist of a chairman, vice chairman, judicial and administrative member. Every bench must include at least one judicial and one administrative member. The benches of the Central Tribunal shall ordinarily sit at New Delhi, Allahabad, Calcutta, Madras, Bombay and such other places as the central government specifies. The chairman may be transferred, the vice chairman and the other member from one bench to another bench. Qualification and appointment of members. Section 6 of the Administrative Tribunal Act 1985 lays the provision specifying the qualification and appointment of members of the tribunal. Chairman. To be appointed as a chairman, a person must have the following qualification. He is or has been a judge of a high court. He has held the office of a vice chairman for 2 years. He has held the post of secretary to the Government of India. He has held any other post carrying the scale pay of secretary. Vice chairman. A person is qualified for the post of a vice chairman if he or she has been a judge of the High Court or has of 2 years held the post of a secretary of the government, holding any other post carrying the same pay scale under the central government or the state government, has held 5 years in the post of an additional secretary to the Government of India or to any other carrying the scale of any pay of additional secretary. Next is the judicial member. A person to be appointed as a judicial member must be have been a judge of High Court, have been a member of Indian services or held a post of grade 1 in service for at least 3 years. Administrative member. A person to be appointed as an administrative member, he must have held a post for additional secretary to the Government of India or another equivalent post for at least 2 years, have held the post of a joint secretary to the Government of India or other equivalent post, or have adequate administrative experience. The chairman, the vice chairman and the other members shall be appointed by the president. The judicial member shall be appointed by the president with the consultation of the Chief Justice of India. The chairman and the vice chairman and the other members of the state tribunal shall be appointed by the president after in consultation with the governor of the concerned state. Terms of office. According to Section 8 of the Act, the chairman, the vice chairman and the other members of the tribunal shall hold the office of the term for 5 years and until he attains the age of 65 years, or in case of a vice chairman or the vice chairman, or at the age of 62 in the case of another members. Resignation and removal. Section 9 of the Act prescribes the procedure for resignation of any member or removal of any member. The chairman, the vice chairman and the other member may resign from his post by writing to the president. They shall be removed from their office only by an order made by the president on the ground to be proved misbehavior or incapacity after an inquiry made by the judge of the Supreme Court. They shall have the right to be informed the charges against them and shall be given a reasonable opportunity of hearing. The central government may make rules to regulate and procedure for investigation for the charges against them. As to the last, jurisdiction of Central Tribunal. Section 14 states that the Central Tribunal from the day of appointment shall exercise all the jurisdiction, power, authority in relation to the following matters, within where the jurisdiction of other courts except the Supreme Court before the enactment of this Act. Recruitment of any civil service of Union or all India services or civil post under the Union or the civilian employee of the defense services. All service matters of the above mentioned employees Also, the employees of any local and other authorities within the territory of India under the control of the government of India, or any corporate or society owned or controlled by the government. All service matter of such persons whose services have been placed by the state government or any local or other authorities or any corporation at the disposal of the central government.